Assalamualaikum. Hello, hi, namaste. Hope you're fine. As you know, we always try to connect you with the people who are doing great and inspiring the world. Today we have Akana mandate from United States. He's the founder of Life of Resonance. And today we will talk about her and we try to learn something from him. And this interview series supported by Rehan Foundation Institute of Peace. Sir. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. Well, you're doing great. I was searching your profile and there are many things. You're also a coach of tennis. You did many things. So we want to know about yourself, how that journey started and how you're doing multiple things you did. And it's really amazing. Are you a talented student from since your childhood? How with the passage of time you evolved and you tried all the things?
It's lovely questions. I'm. I started out just being a really introverted kid. I was really fascinated by ghosts. I would see ghosts as a kid, and I was always looking in like paranormal, other worlds, other dimensions. And as a 4-year-old, I would grab the book from ancient Egypt and start tracing the buildings. It was interesting and strange and cool. And I started to just have all these other fascinations with other aspects of life. But then, like, life came in, and then it was like about normal life. So all these different worlds kept finding over the years as things were playing. I was more into sports, honestly. Like, I grew up with a fascination of just like wanting to play tennis all the time, wanting to play tennis, and um, but yeah, eventually I started to have so many interests. It started expanding into theater, into dance, into bioenergetics, into physics and space and time, and I was like, well, how do I focus all of this into one thing? And like, why am I so interested in all these things? I feel like we're always interested in things for a reason, and so I was so fascinated. Um, and I feel like it's been taking me to this new space of where it's bringing it all together, like the art, the science, the multidimensional world that we live in, bioenergetics, medicine, body work. And I was honestly, it's not that I felt like I was multi talented, I was just multi fascinated. And now it's brought me to here.
That's really amazing. Actually, I read science, but I have interest in arts. Then I also like mathematics, and that is the thing that actually fascinates you when you like multiple things. But the friends, my friend they always said me, you're a jack of all, but master of none. Like you are also in this, but you're not specifically in something. So did any of your friends said this to you, and did you get experience this thing?
Yes, I heard that a lot. But I started to master some things though through it. So I feel like they said, jack of all trades, master of some. So I started to take that on. Yeah, teaching became working with the craft of acting as a teacher, and also being a bioenergetics practitioner, being a body worker and a channel. I work with a channel now more than anything, allowing an energy to work through me, to speak through me, to move my body, which felt very strange initially, but also magical. And I'm learning more and faster through that process than anything I've ever done. So there is a form of mastery, and I do find that everything that I'm doing in its mastery is teaching me a lot of the same lessons in a new way. It's like it's all about life. It's all about connection, about authenticity, and it's all about the magic like that exists here that we can't even see, that we almost forgot existed. And it's like showing itself one little piece at a time. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's really super. It's really amazing, actually. When you try all it, it shines your personality and it makes you unique. Also, Akana, I also want to know about the life of resonance. I also read a term, life shifter. So, what is the theme behind making this life of resonance, and how you define this life of resonance? And then there also life shift. So, I want to know this. these two terms actually fascinated me, and I actually want to know about these both. That what's the idea and what's the theme behind this?
Life of resonance, everything that we create, that we experience, is based on our resonance. It's like our magnetic vibrational frequency. So, and it's how we see the world, it's what we pull in from the world. So, how you resonate is how you live. So, every life that everyone's living is your life of resonance. And if you don't want that life, change your resonance. And then when you change your resonance, everything around you shifts. So the idea, a lot of people in my work, it was always this idea about healing. People talked about healing, and um, there's so many people just like something's broken. Nothing's broken. Everything is perfect. It's divine. There's no, you don't need to heal. And I understand the concept of it. There's nothing wrong with that. But really what we're doing is we're shifting into a new vibration that has a new experience, a new concept of life. So when we do that, then we experience everything completely different. We have all these new processes. Like some people go from poverty to wealth. That's a shift in belief and resonance and sharing in our energy that goes from poverty to wealth. So you have two divine, perfect, amazing experiences. And when we have one extreme, we get to really understand and appreciate the other one and play. So Life of Resonance came out of that construct because I used to run an acting studio, an acting school. And I just started to see that acting is about your deepest truth. You have permission to live your deepest truth in an acting environment because it doesn't matter. There's a society, everything is gone. Like you get to engage in whatever way you want, and you are celebrated, not for pretending, but for authentically, vulnerably living your truth on stage that in truth, many people watching, so much of society, we've become, in a sense, kind of cattle. We're kind of following along and moving along with things, and that's okay. But we almost forgot the sovereignty and the uniqueness and the beauty of our own expression, our deepest truth, not our conformed truth to fit in and adjust to society. That's a part of it, but it's not our deepest truth. So when I started engaging in action work, I started to see that when they started living their truth, their whole life would change like that. And it took about 3 weeks of the action work, and then suddenly everyone's life in this, like people would break up, they get divorced, they get married, they lose their job, they suddenly move their location. This happened because they stopped lying to themselves. And they didn't know they were lying. So once that happened, everything in the resonance of their life was just like, forget you. And they're like, yeah, forget me, forget later. I've got something else to do. This isn't my truth. So it kind of pushes you away and says, this isn't you anymore. Now you're in a new resonance. And I started to see people's lives change in the most incredible ways through the acting work and their health. But then I was also had a bioenergetics clinic. And we, with bioenergetics technology, we look at the root source of a disease or an imbalance. We'd say an imbalance. It's just a vibration that's not in flow. Every time someone gets sick, the disease is not there to kill you. It's there to inspire you to live again. It's there to push you on a journey, to open, to feel. Because as human beings, you're designed more than anything to feel, and then play with that, and then create something, and then share it. Like that is what we're designed to do: feel, play, create, and share it. So when people get that disease, often they'll feel a lot, and then they can start playing with that. And then what do they want to create? They create their new life. They create a new way of being. They create a new concept. Send them into life, and that's a shift. And as a consequence, you can say they heal because their old vibration, which was sick, doesn't resonate with the new vibration because they want to live. Not only do they want to live, they want to experience and be alive. So Life of Resonance came out of that. And as I started doing body work again and working with channeling, this energy would get inside of me and start moving my hands and teaching me all these different modalities as I was working my body. And I noticed that inside of the human physiology is where the stories are being stored. So when you're a creator, all human beings are creators. And feeling is the energy, it's the fuel we use to play and create something. So if you don't feel it, if you don't let yourself feel it and play with it and create with it, energy is still going to move. So what does it do? It stays inside and then it creates a disease. So that then you feel, and then you have to move, or some people may die. And that's just part of a process sometimes. So what do you want to do with it? So when I started working with people's bodies, I noticed when I would touch certain points, I would see images of stories, things that happened, and I could feel emotions. And I realized that what they were showing me in this process was the DNA, the story, basically the program. And as people, I would press a point, people would express from their heart what they were feeling. You can call it pain, but pain and pleasure are the same vibration. One has flow and one has discord, it has tension. So when you have a flow of emotion, it's pleasurable. When you have pain, there's a resistance to life, to feeling, because we're designed to feel. That's how we feel alive. We feel. So when I touch that point in the body where the story is being stored, if it were here, they're going to feel some pain. And that pain, when they let themselves express it, it's being played with, and then it's creating a sound. It's being shared with me, and then it's gone. Like it then did that. So it's transitioning all these energies from the body physically. It's a very, very fast, intense process, but it shifts the entire magnetism of the body. Again, we're shifting. So in Life Shift, what I've been shown is through an artistic process, how life can shift into truth. Through a bodywork process, how the physiology can shift into a new vibration. Through bioenergetics, we can utilize technology and vibrational sound and light frequencies and homeopathics to shift into a new vibration at an incredibly fast rate, like hours. And it's just, are you ready for the new train that's about to come up? Because your life is not going to be the same anymore. And sometimes we can resist it, but it's just a matter of time. And that's okay because it's foreign, it's new. So life shift is about, and there's nothing wrong with the life you have. It's just saying, is it the one you want? Do you want to shift into a new vibration? And if so, all right, let's do it. And it's going to be just as divine and amazing. It's just new. It's a new experience. And then life craft is another part of the company where you can actively, consciously craft your life. What do you actually want to choose your resonance to become? How do you want to play? And that's with, you're also listening to your intuition. You're listening to spirit, to God, whatever you want to call it, source, and allowing that to come through you to do what you have been shown all your life and live fully who you authentically are, your fullest service of the planet, of humanity, of yourself, to have the most extraordinary life. Because the only thing that keeps anybody from anything is themselves. Like anything is possible. What I've learned in this work is anything is possible. I've seen diseases go overnight, like things I thought were never possible. But I've also seen other magical realms where I'm just like, this planet is not what I thought it was. Like there's a lot more going on here than I ever imagined. And it's magical. So that's where Life Shift has come from the arts and from the bioenergetics, from my own journeys, and then the body work as well. And together, they're just a force of nature. It's incredible to see.
That's really amazing. And I was thinking that if in my high school you read me resonance, I could understand better in physics because there it was the most boring topic for me. But now it's the most interesting the way you relate it with, and also bio and physics. That's really super. And exactly, it's really unique formula. I think so. It makes it original, the artificial formation of us because we are mostly in an artificial way. We what we feel we usually repress it and we pretend what we are not mostly. And I
Yeah,
think so that this is the, as you mentioned, we can be original because when you pretend in the in your inside you're actually breaking, you're actually not feeling good. But when you pretend something, when you pretend that you be good, when you pretend to be So, but it's not. So, be genuine, and it's the formula that's really super. Akana, I also, because you have a, I think so that you have more experience, you have great experience. So, it's my, actually, it's my personal. So, I want to know from your side, when you get 20, what do you think? What are these values, or what are the skills we need to work on ourselves? When you are near to be 20, because it's the era when your professional life is also going to be start, and it's the also the period when you're too emotional, because everything there hurt you, even the little things, even your breakup with your friend, it's like it's like breaking the world. So all that hurts you a lot. So I want to learn our tip, our advice from your side. What the things are, what the how we what we need to do in our 20s when we're near to 20, and what the skills on which we need to work.
I'm sorry, the last sentence, what we need to, I couldn't understand the last sentence.
Okay, okay. I said when we're near to our 20, what the skills we need to learn, or what the values we need to focus on when you're near to, because people said it's the life 20 to 30 is the life when you are making your life or you're breaking your life. So I want to know your experience and from know your side.
My experience is that everyone, when they resonate with their deepest truth, are in their most powerful and their greatest service to everything around them. A lot of people say, "Oh, don't be selfish. Take care of other people." Well, yes, and there's nothing wrong with being selfish either. There's a balance. It's all about balance. Everything is a perspective. So energetically is how I look at things. There's no judgment. Everything is divine. Everything. It's just, what is your lens and what is the energy around it? If there's tension, there's imbalance. If there's flow, then there's flow. Things are moving in a forward creative expression. So the values is allowing yourself humans are designed as receiving antennas. Like, we are designed to receive, and from receiving life first, then we are inspired to give. Like, when an infant is born, it's taking in its environment, it's feeling its environment, and it's reaching, it's speaking from these impulses. The same thing for an animal. It's inspired by its environment because it's allowing it to be received. So once we allow ourselves to receive authentically from a place of curiosity, because a lot of the challenges right now is there's so many stories in our DNA. We are so programmed from so much history, thousands of years of trauma. And that's okay. This is one of our beautiful opportunities we get to move through. But because of what's happened to us on this earth, every time we see certain things, those stories get activated on a global level and on an individual level. COVID-19 is a simple example. When people see COVID-19, they're like, oh shit, like plague and shut down, world bad, And what we're doing is we're going back to the great plagues of history where thousands, hundreds of millions of people were killed. We even still say in the United States, bless you, when people sneeze. Because, and this goes back to that time, because there was the belief, the concern, oh, you're sick, bless you, please, I hope you don't die. And it's just like, this is where part of our program, because it was so traumatic, it's so instilled in fear in our system. COVID-19 has been one of our best friends. It has cultivated faster change on this planet than anything that wasn't violent that has happened, I think, perhaps in known history. I mean, an asteroid, the flood, yeah, that's going to be really quick. But we're talking about the other kind of transformation that is progressive. And we've got to see a homeopathic version of a plague that we can handle. We don't get wiped out. We're not losing control. Everything's here. Not only that, but people went out to riot. They actually said, we're going outside because our expression, our truth is more important right now to express this. And they're being out there about the riots with what happened with Floyd. And so there's so much happening right now. Your truth, your fullest expression, because that's what COVID is bringing out in everybody. It's putting everybody in a box with the thing that they are in the most discord with, usually family or a partner, where they're the most connected. And then it's saying, All right, feel all of it. We're going to be in a box, feel all of it, let it be expressed. And as that gets to be heard and seen and felt, it's played with authentically, it's truth, it's created into an experience, a sound, a word, and then it's observed. This gets to be heard and seen. It transitions like that. And we're seeing the environment change at a dramatic rate. The environment is cleaning itself up. It's also a reflection of ourselves because that is a perception of our perspective. So the perspective of COVID, you can see it as a problem, or you can see it as an incredible ally, a best friend who's trying to be heard, is saying, no, I'm here to help you. Listen. We're going to get the whole world to stop and listen together. We're going to get everybody inside and want to be in nature again. We're going to get everybody to work through their trauma of racism, which goes back to a huge history, thousands of years. But we're going to do it with two people right now. We're going to make the whole world hear it. And they're going to play that role, and they're going to do that as a gift for everybody. And I'm not advocating for it, but I see the beauty, the power, and the potential of what this is creating in the world in the most profound way. So truth is so important, and curiosity is so important. Your most vulnerable truth, and allowing yourself to be a receptacle for feel everything, because most of what people do is they're trying to not feel something. That's why they may work in a way of discord. And again, anything can be flow or discord. That's why they may eat. That's why they may smoke. That's why they may not go to that location that day or want to see that person, is because they don't want to feel something. But when we embrace ourselves and allow ourselves to feel it and be present with it, it changes our whole biology. It changes our energy. And then energy starts moving and we start to expand. And then when you're feeling it, be curious, because what's running is going to be the old story. But if we just sit with it and we breathe for a moment, we can hear that there's a gift under everything. Under everything. So, but not if we're reacting, not if we're only seeing the negative story. There's nothing wrong with the negative story. It can inspire something, and that's beautiful. But there's something else. So that's what I would say, values-wise. Live in your truth. Discover your truth. Who are you? What do you really want? What do you aspire to do? What makes you feel so much bliss and excitement in life? You're like, oh, I want to do that. And no matter what, just know that it can happen. Even if it's like, I want to go to space. All right, this can happen. It can totally happen. And be curious, be curious, be curious, be curious every single step of the way while you're listening. So that's what I would
That's
say.
really so exactly. This is really amazing. Exactly, I think so. Okay, this can help us better. Akana, I also have a one question. That is, everybody wants success, and especially when you're at that age, people said even from our childhood or parents, everybody makes us successful. You should be a successful person, like this, like that, blah blah. But I want to know how you define success and what is success to you. If you define success in your definition, I want your definition, how you define it and what is success to you.
That's a wonderful question. I feel successful because yeah, like you said, it's individual. Success for me is when I feel a constant state of forward progression and movement, in a state of flow. And even when there is conflict, that there's this opportunity it's like jumping over a hill and enjoying the jump over the hill. Like, even there's a state of flow within the discord that's just like, yes, and like, yeah, okay, cool, this is a problem for me, but it's not. It's a great opportunity, yes. And when I can be in a constant state of that, and then watching myself be pulled in by my passions, by my dreams, as they're taking me now around the world. They take me to new locations, new interactions that help me expand what I thought was possible into the magic and brilliance and limitlessness of this planet of life. And doing it in a state of creation, service. I would say service is an interesting word, like sharing, like sharing what has been given through me, but also receiving the gifts of so many incredible people like yourself who are sharing these opportunities and their space and their energy um, to empower and co-create something new. Like we're creating something new right now because here we are, two energies together on the platform, and that's just magical. And that just comes down to attitude, because this can be a constant. Success can be constant as long as we're in that space of our attitude and our perspective. And I know that's challenging. And of course, I'm kind of creating that right now. It can be challenging. It can be challenging, but it's definitely possible no matter what's going on.
Exactly. That's really wonderful. Exactly. And I wish you could be my science teacher. You are a wonderful science teacher because uh, or usually science teacher the way you are explaining everything with science and with life. That's really amazing. And exactly, I think today success is not to get stuck in something, not to get money, not to get enterprise. If you're not happy with that, if you're not getting peace with that, and you're not enjoying, then this is not, even you have a lot of money, even you have a lot of business, and then you had, but that's it. Thank you so much, Akana. This is a wonderful session. I really enjoy, and it's really amazing talk with you. But at the end, I want to take a message from your side. Although there were message in every talk, but at the end, anything you want to say, any message, anything.
Huh. Yeah, follow your bliss. Really, follow your bliss. Joseph Campbell had it right. And I encourage everyone, the moment you're judging something is the moment you forget the divinity of everything. You know, um, I really encourage everyone. Everything is light. Everything is foundational course is light. So it's you're equal to the sun. You're equal to the chair you're sitting on. They're all forms of light. You're just a different construct of light, and it's all divine. The thing is, we'll look at the sun and we're like, "Whoa, that's powerful! Like that can destroy me." Blah blah. All this, whatever the story is, it can energize and grow plants, and it can. But the sun can't do what you do, and it doesn't walk around on this incredible planet and connect in the ways that we do. And you can't do what it does, but together you can play, and then you can create something and share it with the world if we can listen to it. So I really encourage, the encouragement is to be curious and to listen with all your senses, including your like sixth sense, like your intuition, like listen and trust your intuition, because the heart doesn't know rational thought. The heart is nuts. It's crazy because it will see so much further than anything else will. There may be 1,000 things in front of you with swords or guns saying you can't come here. And if the heart knows, the heart knows. And it will find a way because it can see what you can't. And when we trust that, that's when the magic really happens. And that's when we remember how incredible this place is, life is, and that anything is possible. So listen to this thing, hear it, and just be honest with yourself. If you're not happy, and that's okay, there's nothing wrong with not being happy. It means that there's a part of you that's not being honest. So what's your truth? Because when you flow in all of your emotions in your heart, you can't help but feel good. And if you're not, that's okay. It's trying to create something new. It's trying to inspire something. So that's what I would say. And have compassion for yourself and other people. Oh, actually, yes, one more thing. I had somebody once, I touched their skin and I saw at this point in their body is where OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, was being stored in their body. And as I touched it, it was kind of like this person that people perceive this as being an annoying filled habit. They're like, oh, it's so annoying. They're OCD. They're so, you know. But then I saw where it came from. And I don't know what your belief system is, but I saw in another lifetime that this person was hiding in a house in Germany, in Nazi Germany, as a Jewish, as a Jew, and they had to make sure if they couldn't express any of their heart, their pleasure, anger, grief, they had to be so quiet. So this got shut down, and then They were not allowed, if they left the room, they had to make sure everything was perfect. Because if they came back in and anyone ever found out, then everyone could die. So what was perceived as this annoying habit was rooted in something that was so intense in life or death. And they were still shifting and playing with that in this lifetime. But now, instead of being life or death, it's their business, which feels like life or death in a new way. So I really invite compassion and empathy around when people have these kind of tension-filled patterns or needs or desires or fears. What I've seen in people's bodies is it goes back to some really epic things. And I'm like, oh, I understand now. It makes so much sense. I would be that way too. Actually, you're doing amazing. And you can be as meticulous as you want. But once we understand that, and the story gets to be heard, because once I heard that story, then that can shift because that wants to be shared. And that's a beautiful story, you know? So that's what I recommend. That's what I share.
Wow, wow, powerful message. Thank you so much for sharing us such wonderful thoughts, for sharing us your ideas. It's really honor to have you. Thank you so much. Many best wishes for your work. You're doing great job, and keep progressing, keep doing. And exactly, I get many lessons today, and I will certainly follow them. Curiosity, then be truthful, because there everybody say you there are many people, but they hardly people who said you be truthful and with yourself, even with the people. And this is the message actually we are losing, we are not getting, and that's a really powerful message. Thank you, Akana, for your time for this session, and thank you for watching. At the end, we always say one thing: be positive, stay positive, and spread positivity. In this way, we can bring positivity around. Take care of yourself and take care of others. Goodbye. Allah Hafiz. Rab Rakha. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Take care.